If you guys are new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. And let's get into it. Today, I am cooking a Sunday dinner. On a Wednesday, I got all my fixings. Turkey legs smoking in a pot. Y'all see that? That's big. I got my sweet potatoes in the back. I got my greens. And later on, I will be seasoning my sweet potatoes after I get done prepping everything. And then we got our water without oil in it. Then we got our sweet potatoes with argo syrup. It gives it a good molasses taste with some cinnamon I already had put in there. Some butter I put at the pot. I put a bunch of sugar, brown sugar, salt. That's how I do. In this bowl, I'm adding salt to my already pre-measured cornmeal mix with sugar, melted butter, and all those fixes in there. Just the instructions is on the back of the bag, the Ajumana bag. And then now I'm just going to add my egg
cracking
and the rest of my
there.
stuff.
I had already added my salt. I got some fresh sage in this package. Mariano's. I'd like to use fresh sage, versus using dried sage. I don't know, it gives it more of a stronger taste. The dressing don't always have to look green just for it to look like dressing. Now I'm pouring my whole milk because I use whole milk for everything. It has that good fat in there, that butter fat, and I'm just gonna whisk it all up. Get all the lumps out, get all the chunks out. You want a pancake batter kind of texture. You don't want no watery cornbread. And I always add 1 extra cup of cornmeal mix to my dressing so it won't be gummy or wet. I like it to be dry before it goes to my dressing. And just add a little milk extra at the time. I don't measure, so I just added 1 cup eyeball in the beginning, add a little bit as I need it. And that's pretty much it. Now that that's done, I'm just putting it in my pan. Pre-oil, sprayed it with some olive oil spray, so your cornbread won't stick. And yeah, just put that in the oven. It's better to get the cornbread out the way and get that going because dressing is so time consuming. And macaroni, usually I try to get those done first because they're going to take up most of your oven time. And I just try to get them ready and I work on everything else. So much easier. Now, it's time for me to get my macaroni done with these, whatever you call these names, noodles. I'm so different. I know the other traditional is elbow macaroni, but no, I'm not using elbow macaroni. I stand out. So we're gonna pour these to the pre-oiled water, pre-oiled salted water. That way you won't have to add too much salt at the end when you cook your macaroni. If you boil your macaroni into the pasta. And you could do it at least a teaspoon of salt, I say, through the process. But you just give it a little mix. Sometimes when you mix your macaroni, it can make them gummy as they cook. So I just mix it that first time, get the lumps out, and then I just leave it alone until it's done. And don't overcook your macaroni. If you overcook your macaroni noodles, I guarantee you, by the time you bake in the oven also, you're going to have a bunch of mush. So you bake them till they a little bit chewy, half done or whatever, and then, yeah. And now I got my pot of greens. I'm going to add a little bit seasoning to these, which I did in the beginning. I just peeled them and threw them in the pot. Greens make their own water. You just want to do a little bit of water in there, and, yeah. So you got to slap your mama. Who don't got to slap their mama? But you better not slap your mama. But, yeah, who don't got the seasoning in their house? I think it's just, yeah, a known thing, a common thing. I use everything. Oregano, whatever. I just season away, eyeball it, of course, which is the way to go. Okay, now that that's out the way, time for these macaroni. And they're hot. This pot is hot. So we'll put the lid on here. And I'm going to drain this water into the sink. I don't rinse off my pasta. I don't know. I like fat. I like starch. What can I say? So while I'm draining this stuff off my pasta, you can rinse it if you choose to. Your choice. Don't do what I do. But yeah, that's how they smell. It's like a sauna right now. And it's so hot. And of course, I'm not going to pour. I got a phobia of glass cracking and breaking from my sister. You know, she used to have all these glass dishes, and then she'll have it sit on top of a hot stove one time and took it off the stove and it busted into the air. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all that. Into the pasta just to get it melted, you know, while it's already hot. And then I'm going to follow it with some cold milk to cool it down before I put it into my glass dish. And we're mixing, and we're mixing. Yeah, see that? And we're mixing. I just love butter and macaroni. Give it that savory, good taste. Butter's all melted. Yeah, here's a little hack. You add cold milk to the pasta because coldness stops the cooking of the pasta, and their way you won't have gummy macaroni. I would say, let's see, how much I put in there. Eyeball-wise, I would say a whole cup of milk in there. I like to add a little bit extra because one thing I don't do is dry macaroni. That's a no-no. Sometimes you can add milk. You can add probably like up to, I think I've added probably up to like 2 cups of milk. Depends on the size of the macaroni. But when I put my macaroni in my dish, my baking dish that I bake it in, I be wanting to see at least halfway full of milk on the side. If you don't see the milk halfway full on the side, to me the macaroni is going to be dry. And the longer you cook your macaroni anyways in the oven, it dries up and the milk kind of evaporates out, you know. So, yeah, halfway full. Crack that 1 egg in there, only one. I had my mistakes in trying to progress and perfect macaroni. One time I did 2 eggs and it was mush. A lot of people add eggs, they say to band it all together and to hold it all together. So I guess that's why people add egg. So you pour out macaroni into the bowl. I just love this big old glass bowl. Mixing it up, and then we're going to add all of our cheeses. So the first cheese we're going to add is Velveeta cheese. Yoo-hoo. I only did half a block out of this box. And I diced it up in pieces, squares. And then we're going to mix my macaroni. You don't have to mix it until it's hot. You know, like some people might mix it because they want the cheese to melt because it's Velveeta cheese. But no, it don't have to melt at all. And it's not going to melt because I just put that cold milk. So just mix it up. And when I bake my macaroni, it's going to have chunks of Velveeta cheese. Sometimes when you eat bites of it. Check on my dressing, my cornbread. Make sure that I burn. I just sprinkle a little bit of black pepper on there because I already added my salt when it boiled. And sometimes I might add a little bit more salt at the end. Just a little bit. That's probably like a teaspoon. Okay, maybe a teaspoon. I don't know. But yeah, I sprinkle a little bit of salt too again. And what you could do is a little trick to see if your macaroni got enough salt. You taste it before you add the raw egg. As you can see, I add the raw egg, so heck no, I'm not about to eat it now. Salmonella. But yeah, I'll taste it before I even add the raw egg. And look at all this cheese, y'all. Oh my God. What cheese am I using? This is freshly grated, not bag shredded, freshly grated sharp cheddar cheese and Monterey Jack. So far we have Velveeta cheese, Monterey Jack, sharp cheddar, and as you can see a little bit under my elbow, it's my slice of Gouda cheese. Know what cheese I forgot to put that I traditionally normally put? Is Parmesan cheese. That gives it a whole another flavor. That's bomb. So we're going to add the rest of the cheese. This bowl might not look big on the camera, but it's kind of big. So yes, that is enough cheese. You could go overboard if you want to, but I think that's just enough. I bought 2 big 16-ounce blocks. That was enough. I'm just gonna mix it all up. Man, y'all ain't ready for this. I really love macaroni. It's my favorite food besides tacos, but it's gonna be fun. I'm going to put this macaroni into this dish, all of it. I normally put like half macaroni, and if I have shredded cheese, I put half shredded cheese, and then another layer of macaroni, and then more shredded cheese. But I ain't doing all that right now. I'm just trying to get this out the way. So I'm going to put all of this macaroni into here because I believe I got enough cheese mixed on the inside to where I don't have to do layers. Going to put it all in there, and then I'm going to put that Gouda cheese on top at the end. Yeah, see the milk left in the bowl. The reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want to get all the pasta out, and I already noticed some of the milk went into the bowl. And if I feel like I need the rest of that milk, then I'll pour it on top. If I don't, and I feel like I got too much in my glass dish, then I just pour the milk out. So, as I'm feeling around, I'm looking around, my hunch and my cooking intuition is telling me pour the rest of this milk on top, girl. So, this is exactly what I'm going to do. So y'all see this. Look at that milk in there. This gonna be some good macaroni. Some might say it's too much milk. But you know what I say? It's cooking Chantel's way. So ain't no such thing. I do what I want. Now I got my Gouda. Nobody be on to this cheese. Nobody be on to a lot of cheeses. Never hurts to just experiment. I bought the slices because that's what I'm gonna put on top. And of course it's not working out for me. Because yeah, it's not coming out in one piece, but it's okay. We're just going to layer that all across the top without the paper. You don't need paper. Me, when I cook a macaroni, to me, I love, I bad like Mexican blend, or, you know, they got Fiesta Mexican blend, or different cheeses that have like Parmesan in it, provolone, Asiago cheese, Gouda cheese. With macaroni, sky's the limit. I would just put all the damn cheese, okay? No, I would not put blue cheese, feta cheese. Yeah, that kind of stuff, no. But any other cheese, yeah. It actually tastes really good. Provolone would even probably taste good, and so I might start adding that to here, too. Once we got our macaroni slices, got our cheese slices on top. I said macaroni slices. Once we got our cheese slices on top, then we about to get ready to put it in the oven and get that going. Can y'all believe I took my cornbread now? It ain't brown enough for me. That's why I said you got to get that out the way first, because it's time consuming. I done all this and it ain't done yet. So we're just going to put the last piece of cheese on top. And it's going to be so good. Pat it down a little bit. Throw it a little stuff away. Yeah. Now that we're about to cover it, I got my foil sheets because I realized I ain't have no foil. The whole roll. So I had to use my foil sheets. So I'm going to spread with a little bit of olive oil so it won't stick, because that with it, you put foil on top of the cheese. When you got the cheese on top like that, it sticks to the paper. And I need all my cheese to stay on top of the macaroni noodles. So yeah, just take my foil sheets, spread it down, like so, like, you know, and put it on top. We're going to put those in the oven and get that out the way. And cooking our cornbread. Now that my turkey leg is done boiling, I let that boil for probably at least an hour. And you could tell that it's tender because it started splitting all around. Did y'all see that? Like, it was literally about to fall apart. So that's how I knew it was tender. It wasn't stiff. I'm just going to break this up into the greens. Some people boil it while it's already in their greens, or they boil like little, what do you call it, turkey tails, smoked turkey tails, whatever else. But no, I just boil the turkey leg separate because it takes a little bit more time, and it's so big, and they have a lot of greens. So, you guys see this? I'm burning the hell out of my hand. Ah, it's hot. It's hot. Let me get this spoon. See if I can scrape it out this way. Scrape it down some. Only thing about turkey legs I don't like is all those bones on the inside. It's so annoying. I don't know why it needs so many bones on the inside. A chicken bone only got like one bone, and plus that tiny skinny bone. This got like a shitload of skinny bones. So, oh my God, it's hot. Hot. Okay. I gotta get all this meat off this bone. I know that much. And normally what I do is I save, you see that turkey juice water in the back, and you see how tender this is, by the way. Super tender. I can mush it in my hand. But yeah. Anywho. Yeah. I just rub it and it's tender, and I got my turkey juice in the back that I save. Because this turkey leg is so huge. Yeah, see that? This thing just, yeah. It's a big bone too. Size of my arm. Yeah, I see that. Well, not my whole arm, but most of it is big. So like I said, I'm not going to put all this turkey meat into my greens because I don't got a lot of greens and the turkey leg is big. So I save some of the turkey meat in the back in a pot with that water that it boiled in. You know what I do? I freeze it. I freeze everything sometimes. But for the most part, it's just in my deep freezer for a good 2-3 weeks. Some stuff can hold up for months. I freeze it and I use it on a later date if I want to add it to anything. So say for instance, I make some cabbage. I chop the cabbage up. I unthaw this bag of turkey juice and that meat that I freeze left over, and I just throw it into my cabbage instead of just adding plain water to the cabbage. It's so much better that way. Look at all this meat. It's good though. I love greens. Yeah, guess who out the oven? All this time took this darn cornbread. I let it sit for a while before I started covering it out because I'm not going to stick my hand in it. Yeah, I'm not going to stick my hand in hot cornbread, but yes, it was hot. So what I'm doing now that my cornbread is out the oven, I'm just putting it into my mixer bowl, just crumbling it up, get ready to make my dressing. Yeah, see all the green chunks of sage in there, and you see that brownness of that cornbread around the edges. Some people cornbread is darker than this, but yeah, I didn't make it super dark. I just was like, that's enough. It needs to come out. I'm trying to get this out the way. But sometimes I do have my moments where I let it brown just a little bit more to look caramel color brown, but not today. And it's fine because it's still gonna taste the same. Now I'm just getting rid of all these big chunks. Kind of give it a little break it up. Break it up. Look at that sage leaf. Y'all see the big old chunk of sage leaf? It's gonna taste good though. Strong taste. Let me make my dressing. What do we call dressing? I don't know. I just don't know. Okay, so I think that's just about most of my lumps out of there. It's okay if it's some left over, just not big chunks. So now I'm gonna make some butter in here because it's warm, just like my macaroni noodles was warm, and I mixed butter. It helps melt it faster versus me pouring melted butter inside. I'm just gonna do it this way. Some people have their own techniques of how they do stuff, but yeah, I'm just doing it this way today. I'm going to add this can of cream and chicken soup mix to my dressing. I know a traditional way is that I was raised on was 1 can of cream and chicken soup, 1 can of cream of mushroom, 1 can of cream of celery. I don't have any cream of celery, but I do have celery into my chicken broth mix that I'm going to pour here when y'all see it. And you could use all small cans, you know. And I got this big old can of cream mushroom soup. I'm not going to use this big old can. I'm just going to use half. Now, in the Ziploc bag that I froze, I boiled a whole chicken with carrots, celery, bay leaves, all the herbs, chicken bouillon, everything. I froze it because I do that like I did with my other turkey meat in the juice. I freeze it for when I use it at a later date. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just pour this all into my dressing mix and mix it up. So much easy. I just saved myself so much cooking time by doing that in advance. And yes, I'm weird like that. I keep chicken broth on deck. I keep turkey juice with turkey meat on deck. I just cook it in advance and I freeze it and I use it in a good amount of time so it won't be old. I'm just going to mix it up. And that's dressing. We got everything in here. It's cornbread. It's a sage recap. It's the celery that's inside the broth that I pour in. It's the carrots, it's the bay leaves, it's the regular, it's the bouillon, it's the butter. It's everything, all the seasonings, everything. I'm not adding chicken to this dressing though, like some people do, because I'm making turkey wings on the side, so I don't want all that meat. So it's going to be a meatless dressing, but it still has the chicken flavor, which is still good, lots of flavor. So you just mix that up, and you want it to be creamy, as you can see. That creamy is not liquidy or anything. It's creamy. It's still thick and creamy. So I'm going to just mix that up. And, yeah, just like you did with the macaroni, do the same thing with dressing. You crack an egg in it. It binds it and holds it together. Do y'all see those sweet potatoes? I just put them into my glass dish. They glossy, they fancy, they sweet, they buttery, they everything. Look at that macaroni. Y'all see the bubbles? It's cooking good. Okay, next up, we got these big old turkey wings. I really never ever cooked turkey wings before. I never ate turkey wings before. Because, yeah, sometimes I don't like big pieces of meat. I like small chicken wings when I go to the store. And, yeah, so, first time for everything. But this is a shout out to my cousin because she asked me, told me I should try cooking some turkey wings. She wanted to see how I make them. So, cuz, this is for you. My first time. Hope you like it. Gonna season it with that total seasoning. Then I season it with some seasoned salt. Yeah. A little bit heavy on the seasoning. I want to get all the flavor in there. Now,
I'm going to use some Zatarain's cayenne pepper. Give it a little kick to it. Because I like all my meat spicy. When I go to Popeyes, I add honey because I like it spicy and sweet. But not today. I'm going to add Kinder's red garlic. My favorite season of the year. Just figure that out now. This stuff don't come out heavy enough, but yeah. Let's see. I'm going to add some thyme. Because I got nothing but time to cook these things. The last thing to go and cook. Then my meal is complete. And some regular leaves, of course. Mix it on up. Give it a little rub, give it a little rub. Some people put oil on there. They say you put oil in your meat and try to season it, but I'm not going to do all that because I got to drop it in the oil anyways. So I'm just going to rub it together. Let's rub the season on there. Wash my hands. Let's get ready to fry these. So we got our hot grease. Just get ready to deep fry these big wings. Thing one and thing two. Thing one down. That's sizzling. Thing two down. That's it. When you drop meat, they got bread on it into the deep fryer like I specified before. Do not shake the basket when you first drop it in there. You wait a couple minutes, or at least 1 minute. Let that flour get a little bit of, crisp or whatever, and let it fry. Then you could move it around, check in, whatever else. Do y'all see it? That's crunchy. Like that's cooking and frying. That's frying. Like a big old piece of fried chicken, but these are big wines. Yeah, no. I think I'm just letting my kids eat these because I don't like to eat these. I don't like big meat. These are really huge too. I am now about to start my sauce for the turkey wings. We're going to start by putting Worcestershire sauce, into this hot small pot. It's preheated, so you can see that it's like sizzling already. Get that cooking process going. Then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of honey, eyesight wise. Now we have our fire roasted fajita season mix that I got from Myers. Look like a little salsa or whatever, but it has a strong flavor of all the red peppers, green peppers, onions, all of that stuff. And we got this. Don't overdo it. Y'all will burn the hell out of y'all mouth. I put at least 1.5 teaspoons up in here. I ain't gonna be having no stomach ache for days. No way. We got our Korean barbecue sauce. I looked at it in the store. I was like, this looks kind of good. I wonder what this tastes like if I make something with it. So, I'm going to add all this into there. And at this point, you can let your sauce boil and reduce to your sticky syrup. And give it another stir. And we'll see what it looks like when we get back. Okay, so we got that boil that we want.
If you can see in the pot, you see how the sauce kind of went down some? That's because it turned into like a glaze. And if it's not, you can always taste your product. And if it's not sweet enough or whatever else, just add a little bit more honey. So now I got my turkey wings that I had sitting in the basket in the fryer, deep fried. I kind of extra fried them because that's a big piece of meat. I wanted to make sure they was done on the inside. So I left them in a little bit longer. Whose dressing is done at the oven. Look at those greens with all that smoke. Turkey meat. Look at that turkey wings. Do you see the dressing though? It looks so nice. I did good. Do y'all see all that golden crispness? Look around the edges. It look good. It's nice and golden on the side. That's just how I like it. Man. Gotta give myself a pat on the back. What? Y'all see this? Do you see it? Did you see it? Perfection. If you like what you see, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe below.